Yikes. You looked at your 401k and savings statements, and there is no way that you are going to be able to make it through retirement on what you have saved. Just what do you do now? Well, I'm Ann Babiars, and this is Way to Financial Minute. You are in the right place because we have attorney Michael A. Babiars. He's retired, but he's here to help us sort this issue out. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Well, thanks. And today we're going to play a little bit of mind games where I want folks to visualize things. Because the original illustration for how to plan for retirement was that of a three-legged stool. The three-legged stool was one part Social Security, one part private savings, and originally one part pension, that third leg, as it will, being replaced nowadays by things like IRAs and 401ks. But as we all know, a three-legged stool can be a little bit wobbly. What's more secure? Maybe instead of sitting on that three-legged stool over there, you could have a four-legged chair. How about a fourth leg or a fourth pillar of support for you in your retirement? Because here's the true secret of what happens for a lot of people when they enter that next chapter of life. There's no big mystery as to why the age 65 was originally picked for the original retirement age of Social Security back in the 1930s. A lot of people didn't live that long.
Those evil politicians.
Back then, even then, they were evil, weren't they? So, but nowadays, we hear of people living quite vibrant lives into their 70s, even into their 80s and beyond. And the image of someone retiring and going fishing for a couple of years with his grandkids before they keel over of a massive heart attack is no longer the model for retirement. Most people do things in retirement that bring them either meaning or money or both. And oftentimes, what they find meaning in also brings them money, and what they wind up doing is becoming some form of an entrepreneur. They create a little business for themselves. Some of them decide to make trading their accounts their own business, where they get involved in securities trading, or they do consulting, or they start little side businesses. But in any event, these activities do two things. They bring in extra money. They provide that fourth leg of support, and coincidentally, they bring a lot of meaning to a person's life. So this is another one of those mindset shifts that a lot of folks, if they made looking towards their retirement, might make them feel a little bit more comfortable. Instead of saying, oh, gee, I'm just going to go play golf or go fishing all day long and I'm going to run out of money because my three-legged stool isn't solid enough, consider the four-legged chair instead. And you know what? You'll probably have a more rewarding life, a more enriching life, a more meaningful life, and a more abundant life on all levels. And this thing is key, especially for people of modest means. You know, yeah, the millionaire wants to have meaning in his life too, but he or she may not need the income as much. But the folks that are maybe not as well off, the ones you mentioned originally, that are worried that they're going to run out of funds to bankroll their retirement, this is really a key concept for them.
Well, thank you for that very interesting information. And I think it should be heartwarming for people who might be up at night with that worry.
Well, we don't want them falling over in their chairs. That might get, a little closed head injury or something. Is never a good way to approach retirement. So
I was being a little silly earlier on the video, but
absolutely. And that's one of the things I used to do when I would be meeting with clients in my office, is I would always try to lighten the mood, because the areas I was talking about, estate planning, estate administration, elder law, asset protection planning, even the corporate and business stuff I would do, let's face it, those things aren't a chuckle an hour, are they? They're not fun things to talk about. So
it's funny because you're married to a life coach and you're talking about estates.
Yeah, so I kind of take the life coach as it's on the other end of the spectrum, perhaps, when I was in practice. Now, I don't practice anymore, I'm retired, so I don't give legal advice, don't meet with those clients anymore, don't do anything like that. But I taught for a number of years. I was a college professor, created and taught adult education as well, and still continue to do teaching, creating courses and things like that. I love to do that because it lets me take my knowledge and my experience. It's sort of my fourth leg, if you will, where it brings some meaning to me and, yeah, a little bit of income too. And I'm glad I can help folks with chats like we have today, or maybe even courses that I know you're going to tell the audience about here.
Yes, and below this video, you will find a link to the Protect Yourself and Your Assets course. And you can click on there, and if you want to sign up, there's a lot more information out there for you. And if you liked this video, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for future ones. Because if you thought this one was entertaining, we've got a lot more for you out there.
Oh
Thank you
boy,
so much for
tough
being
act
on
to
the
follow.
show. Thanks for being on the show today, Michael, and thank you, audience, for watching. We look forward to the next time.